We don't have sound for the mic, so just speak loudly and clearly. Carolyn, go ahead.
Okay, Jackie wasn't able to come to shoot around before the Dallas game, but she was able to play and play very well. How is she feeling coming into this game?
I think very similar to how she was feeling in Dallas. I just saw her walking down the hall. She said, "You let me know, communicate with me."
Yeah,
And so I know once the light comes on, she's not going to communicate at all. She's just going to want me to leave her in the whole time.
yeah.
But no, she's a gamer. So we'll see. But not much different.
And how's Asia feeling? I mean, she had the nick on her nose,
Cut on the eye.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, she didn't do shoot around either because her body's just so beat up. Her head is beat up. I brought a helmet to the arena today for her to protect the face and head. She'll be fine.
And with this being, okay, this is my last one. Second game of the Commissioner's Cup with the new format, just playing 5 games senior. How do you feel about that?
I don't really care. Honestly, I want to win games. Commissioner Cup, not Commissioner Cup. I would love the opportunity for these girls to be able to make a little money. So let's take care of business. Because that's a nice little bump for their little checkbook to be able to put yourself in a position to win, or even just, I don't know, do they get anything if they get second? I don't even know. But my mom told me second sucks, so we're not trying to do that.
How do you utilize an off day like yesterday when everybody's beat up? Like, do you do film? Do you let them just stay home, or how's that work?
They were off yesterday. And it was come in and do what you need to do. If you're professionals, you know your bodies. If you need to get a massage, get a massage. If you need to sit in that machine that they sit in, sit in that machine. Just do whatever you need. I know some people, the bench came in and got some shots up, which is always good. But the more veteran group, like Tiffany could have been in that group. I specifically texted her and told her she's off, so don't come in unless it's for something medical.
Also, just with Alicia today, she's playing a team that she played for a long time, like 10 years. How do you have longevity like that in this league?
You're consistently good every night. She found her niche, and she's always so prepared. She takes her job very seriously. So, and really, I mean, she worked on her craft really hard and became kind of an invaluable piece to not only Seattle, pretty much any team she's been on. She just inserts her value in such a way that, like, you just don't want to part ways with her. And that kind of professionalism, kind of the example that she lays down for every team and every locker room that she walks into. It's rare to have the attention of the locker room and you're not the starter or you're not the best player. And AC demands that kind of respect when she walks in. So it's not surprising if you know her work ethic and her level of, like, studying. It's like we have a scouting report, and then Alicia Clark has her scouting report. So
when you look at Seattle's schedule and you go to break down film, you look at the start of their season where they struggled. The 3 losses were against top tier teams. Their wins have come against bottom feeders, if you will. Do you pay more attention to the games and how they've gotten better and improved, or do you look at what the other teams did to beat them, or to collaborate?
it's probably a collaboration of both. Honestly, I'm always looking at us first, and making sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Now with Seattle, I think Skylar coming back, she's starting to really play well for them. She had missed a year, so she was a little rusty there, 1 or 2 games, but like she's playing at a really high level now. NECA, and this is a team, at the end of the day, every game is hard to win. Doesn't matter. Just like we learned in Atlanta, in Phoenix. I mean, you would say, oh, are those great teams? But if you don't come to play with the appropriate level of respect every night, you'll lose. It's guaranteed.
How important is it to remember, you mentioned, Neka, Scott, you got Jewel Boy, but to also not forget about Ezzy, who's very capable of being their leader of any particular game.
You know, I just said this the other day. I said her level of improvement over the last 2 years has been phenomenal. She's a beast defensively. She's really worked hard on her three. She's a consistent, like, 3-point shooter now. Enough to where you have to respect it. You know, she needs her feet set a minute, but when you're as athletic and long as she is, it's hard to close out on somebody and keep them in front when you have that shooting ability. So she mixes it up for them defensively. They're very long. They get a lot of steals, deflections, and she has a big part of that. So I think she helps them in a lot of ways that help you win games that maybe doesn't show up on a stat sheet.
And then we'll wrap up with the guys.
How much fun is the team having with Alicia Clark and that turnover she had the other night?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we looked at it and laughed. I mean,
times.
there's a couple rewinds in slow-mo. Because I think I did a slow turn too. I was like, what? Like, so it's funny.
Can you talk about the culture you guys have created for your rookies? Kate Martin specifically, you guys have had it really lighthearted and fun, and we've been able to follow it, and it seems very special for this organization compared to more that I've seen.
Yeah, well, the care factor this team has for each other has always been a separation factor. We talk about it all the time, how we want good character in the locker room. Because what I'm really asking them to do is to be authentically themselves. If you're authentically an asshole, that's not going to work. So we try to get high character, high value people in here. Am I allowed to say that? Whatever. It's the truth.
Nikias, go ahead, close you out.
Okay. I had two quick ones, if that's fine. First, just on
Guys, your questions are always fine. Hit me with it. What analytics are we talking about today?
Well, that's quickly on the blitz rate thing. The blitz rate in the W is higher than all, but I think one of the last 10 years on the NBA side, so that is a little bit higher. As far as the Commissioner's Cup go, I believe point differential is a tiebreaker when factoring into that. Does that factor into your rotation decisions at all in terms of like when you want to pull players and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. In Dallas, I probably would have taken people out maybe a little bit earlier, but because of the point differential, I kind of let them roll maybe a little bit more than I would have. That being said, they kept making runs at us, so that was the other reason why I left them in there. Dallas never really went away, but yeah, it's something that we have to think about.
Gotcha. And then I asked you after the Lynx game about their nail help. It felt like Atlanta copied that, not so much for Dallas. Do you feel like just having that early help in at the nail in particular is becoming more of a template against you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you want to crowd because our players are really hard to guard one-on-one. So you want to bring a crowd, but not too much. Like, it's a delicate balance to guard us. It's like, because you're still going to have to go guard somebody. So there's only so much help and shift that you can do. I think people, New York does it to us, Atlanta, and on nights that we don't throw it into the ocean or shoot well, that it can work. I also thought, though, in that Atlanta game, we were our own worst enemies. Like, not only were they crowding it, we were crowding it ourselves. We helped, and we got to be more solution oriented when those nights happen, that the ball's not going in. And I think we've figured out what works. It's just if we're going to be committed to doing it on any given night. And, defensive 3 seconds is a rule, but how many times do you actually see it get called? Not very often. And so, yeah, if you get defensive 3 seconds for one game, but that's it, I would say it's worth it to just sit in there and camp out. And teams do it all the time.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone.
It's back.
Thanks.
Yep.
Seattle's on their way down, and we are swapping over to their Zoom link. Nikias, do you have that?
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.